Hi everyone, welcome again to another episode of the SJW talk show. Be real, be transparent, and be honest. Check out the latest episode. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So just to kick off, I've got a few nice icebreaker questions just to get to know more of you.
Yeah.
So if you had £1 million, what would you do with it? And what would you spend it on, why?
Oh wow, £1 million.
Yeah. Obviously in this cost of living.
I know. I'll do something for my mum.
Okay.
I'll definitely do something for my mum because I love her. She's my world.
Yeah.
But then I'd also probably take a break. Like, I don't think you really get a chance to take a break.
Yeah.
So I'd need to take a break on an island to understand what do I do with the $1 million. And then probably real estate, investing in some businesses that I think are cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to help the founders. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
I love that.
Like, throw it. But first go on a holiday.
So, what are the 3 things you can't live without?
Oh,
that
wow.
you ultimately have to go with everywhere.
3 things. My red lipstick.
Ooh.
I always have a red lipstick.
Okay, I love the red.
Yeah, I love red lipsticks. So that's always in my bag.
Why red though?
I think it represents like power.
Yeah.
When I put it on, I feel like I'm going into like a different kind of woman.
Yeah.
It just gives me like a new energy. When I
Yeah.
put on the red lipstick, it feels like I'm getting ready. So red lipstick.
Yeah.
What else can I not live out with? My red lipstick. My phone.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
My phone. There's nothing else but my phone.
Exactly.
My phone and my laptops.
Okay.
I love my laptops.
But I guess you could do everything you could do on the phone.
I know, but it's so weird sometimes I just want to be with my laptops.
Yeah, totally. I would take a laptop over a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 3 things.
Okay. Very vain, but I like that. I'm just joking. So, one interesting fact about you.
Interesting fact about me. Interesting fact about me. I used to be a politician. Yeah.
And you down just playing.
Yeah.
So,
I think that to me is,
amazing.
because I think when I look back at my life, it's just, wow, how did that happen? It wasn't something I planned.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a politician.
How did it happen? I know it's down the line, but now I've got to go in. How did it happen? And can I say you're phenomenal and a true inspiration because at your age and what you've accomplished. So please just have to sideline, how did the politician journey even happen?
I think I've always been a very advocate type of person who likes to advocate about others. I've always been passionate about issues that sometimes don't concern me, and I think that's a great quality as a politician to get involved in situations that just don't. But when you care and you're that passionate, there's only one kind of way to feel that energy, and it was politics. Like I said, I never wanted to get into politics. I studied broadcast journalism. I did performing arts. Finished uni, and then you're kind of got lots of energy. So I just sat down and I wrote down everything I wanted to do. And I said I wanted to go into prisons and help, or I wanted to be involved in a different charity. Then one of my directors, who I was working for at the time, so I graduated and I ended up in PR. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. I know.
Performing arts,
then I ended up in PR before uni. And I said to him, this is kind of what I want to do. I want to do more. And he said, try this Uprising leadership program. So it's cross-party. And it's like a year-long program, so you learn about politics, campaigning, social issues, organising campaigns, and it got me excited. And then from there people told me about different parties they were involved. So this was 2016, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to take the leap around 2017 and got involved in politics. And then people again saw different things in me, characteristics, qualities that would make me a good leader. And they said, go for it. And I said, go for it. I don't know anything. I didn't study politics at university. I haven't been involved in the party for that long. But for me, I feel like you always learn. And sometimes it's just a leap of faith. So I put my application forward to run in the 2018 election. And I just left it. I left it there with those who have to decide. And the rest was history. I became elected.
Anyone who doesn't know, what was the party and what was the role?
So the party was the Labour Party. Labour Party. I was a councillor, so I got elected in the 2018 elections. That took 2 years, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more. But that was the party in position.
Thank you for sharing. Truly an inspiration.
Thank you.
Another little icebreaker one to throw. What is your top TV show and why?
Oh wow.
Let's hear this.
Real Housewives.
Okay.
Any of the Real Housewives?
What is this? You should be banned. What is going
Real
on?
Housewives. I love K-drama.
Okay.
I love
That's
K-drama. I love a lot of K-drama, like Glory, Penthouse. I just love K-drama. But my favorite TV show, because those are all kind of like series. And they're like, what would you say my favorite TV show? I would say the Bridgertons. I like Bridgertons.
I love Bridgerton. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
I like
you know what? You semi-qualified now, you know.
There's various. I love TV. I'm a Netflix person.
Oh, yeah.
And Apple TV. Like, I'm watching Loot at the moment on Apple TV.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's kind of like Jeff Bezos' wife losing all her money.
Yeah.
But because she wants to give it away.
Yeah.
So it's about, basically, she has this divorce and then she's giving all her money away to, like, charities and organisations. She's trying to do good in the world.
Yeah.
So, it just shows her journey of her doing that. And it's just comical. It's so comical.
No, I love that. Okay, I kind of rate you now.
Yeah. Or Scandal.
Oh, okay. Now you're talking. Yeah.
Scandal.
Every day, all day.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay, 100%.
I love power kind of like shows as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I like you now.
Even Supercell.
Supercell is amazing.
Ratman and what he's done with the sickle cell.
I absolutely love him because it gave them a superpower which showed his love. So,
and the representation of Black British as well. We're really seeing the real representation of various Black identities as well. It was beautiful.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is your role model and why?
Oh wow, my role model.
Yeah.
So I've got two.
Okay,
I love to make things complicated.
Okay,
don't
bring it.
So I'll take my mum is like my biggest role model, coming from Nigeria and then just building the life that she built and everything she's done for me and my siblings. Like when I don't want to get up, I look at my mum and think, she was studying, working as a carer, social worker. She was doing all these things to make sure that we could have a good life. Like, she could go back to Nigeria, but she chose to continue. So that gives me faith. So she's my role model. And then I'm very spiritual, very religious. I'm a Christian. And I would say there's a story in the Bible about Esther. Like, I love Esther. I like the fact that, so Esther, for everyone who doesn't know, she kind of basically was put in a position and she just had to rise as a queen. And she just didn't know how to do it, and she turned to God, and I think that was a beautiful thing. So I see her as like a role model in this, because you can apply the story.
I love that. Yeah. And I think Esther in a way was sort of a politician.
Yes.
Think about it. She got to a place of power and she didn't forget her people.
That's it.
I think that was, I love that one. That's
a good teaching. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
I had a discussion about this the other day, and we were just seeing how the perspective of her story and our perception, and I love that perception. You're right. You can see her as a politician. 100%. She was getting involved in the King's affairs.
100%. And so she was really, really smart. Actually.
Yeah, she was.
She was really good. Okay, I love that one. I was going to go on to siblings. How many siblings do you have, and where do you come in the order?
I'm a middle child, so I get this middle child syndrome.
I don't
believe it. No, people say only child. Yeah, I think sometimes only child.
Only child or last child, in a way.
Everyone always says that. I don't know what it is. I'm a middle child.
Okay, how many?
So I have an older brother. He is going to be 35, and then I have a little sister who's going to be 25.
Wow,
It's very and then my mom's going to be 65. So they're all this year. It's like the big fives, and then there's me, in the middle.
I was going to ask, but you already dropped it in. You're Nigerian.
Yes, we're Nigerian all the way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's your top favourite food?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I like to cook.
Okay.
I love cooking.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What would be your meal that everyone knows you for?
Everyone knows me for.
Yeah.
Jollof rice and gizzard and plantain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I like to make fish.
Okay.
Like baked fish.
Okay.
Lots of pepper.
Baked fish.
Tilapia. Yeah, but it is tilapia. Yeah. Put in the oven,
like a little cod type of tilapia.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is
or I can go to the fish market.
Okay.
Like I can go to Optimarket and go to the fish market and get the actual fish and then bake it like my mum does it.
Is it?
I don't have people to cook like that.
Okay. Well, you said you're a cook.
Yeah, that's a cook. No, I'm a cook in the sense either my partner or like my housemate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the two people.
You dropped in the next question. Is that a ring?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to take my question. Soon coming. No partner there. Sorry for anyone who hasn't. So, what makes you?
What makes me me?
Yeah. What makes you different?
I would say my character. Like, I think I've got a unique personality and character. Like, I've got an energy that I think you can remember. Yeah. And I try to bring that everywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm sad or I just have this energy. Yeah.
I could so want to be your friend because it seems like you just bring joy, that illuminate. I'm putting it out there. It's sliding in the DMs. But so tell us about your current job title, what you do.
Yeah, so I currently work for TfL. I'm a change implementation manager. So it's business change. So what I do is work with project managers, business analysts, and development teams to roll in new technology into TfL. So we're doing that for their operational and enforcement teams. So think the bus inspectors. We're rolling out new technology there. So I work on projects like that. So I look at how will this change impact that area? I assess it, and then basically I present to leadership and I say, these are some of the things we need to do to make sure that it's embedded properly and doesn't impact the staff in a way that is a negative. Because obviously change is never change.
And people don't take it well.
People don't take it well. No, especially if you've been doing something for 20 years plus, to then come and say, hey, we're doing this now.
They're going to take it well. And TfL's massive.
So you have to do a journey. Cool. So that's my new job. I used to be in consulting prior to that. So I started at TfL this year. Learned everything in consulting, transitioned, and I left consulting because I wanted to kind of go on client side. So that's what I do now. And then I'm building a fashion marketplace, which is my project.
Tell us about this.
So it's called Couture Paradise. I started building it last year. I went on a Soho House program. I'm someone who loves programs. If there's a program, I'm going to go on it. I'm a program person. So I'll definitely say to people, like, always look for programs in any industry or anything you want to get into, because you'll learn and network and just gain so much opportunities from it. So I finished that program, and now I'm building my marketplace, looking to launch in Nigeria, and it will just have Nigerian brands on there, you know, the ones that are affordable, accessible, that are contemporary, not just your traditional kind of side of it, but like do a mixture, modest clothing as well. So it's just bringing them to the light of like the diaspora community, global audience. So it's exciting.
So we'll look out for that.
Yes,
December.
Please do. Yes, I'm looking to launch summer period.
So it's literally
now.
Very close.
Okay,
thank you for coming all the way.
Very close. Very close.
And I know you started this, but why did you start this? Because that's a key thing when starting a dream. I think when you're young, you have all these dreams and hopes, but life kind of like deviates you into other paths. I'm not saying those paths are wrong. Like politics, I loved politics. I loved my time in politics. But I think you're scared sometimes to pivot into something new. And I learned from those who have gone before me. I love to speak to people to gain their wisdom, and they always say the same thing, like go after your dreams in your 20s, try and do what you really want, build yourself up, try different things. Then you have like more finances in the 30s, and you have more experience and wisdom and network, so you can get it in place. And they just said to me, don't waste that opportunity now where you have the energy, because later on when you're trying, it might be harder when you have more responsibilities. So I feel like I just wanted to go into what I've always been aligned with, and I've loved fashion. I've always enjoyed dressing up, you know, taking pictures on Instagram and looking at this and that. So I just wanted to invest in it more. I never was a designer. I'm not that type of person. Didn't see myself as a stylist, but the business of it, the business of fashion, and helping brands, just growing with them and supporting them. And it's so hard for them to get a platform and to market themselves. Like an ASOS, one African.
That's it.
That's
you got it. That's literally
That's powerful.
That's it. That's it.
And even though you're making it seem like, you know, it's A to Z, but it must be a really hard transition to get up and actually start that. So what motivated you in the reality, even though people told you start your dreams? How did you go from having an idea to actually activating it? Despite, and I'm sure, what were the challenges that you faced in doing that as well?
So it's definitely difficult, especially one being in politics. I had to take the tough decision to not stand again. And I was doing amazing work in politics. I loved everything I learned in politics, but that was a tough decision to know that you have a limited time. So I had to decide, where do I want to put my resources and my time? And I had to take the kind of realistic view of it, in the sense of, am I really going to go far in terms of where I currently am in my seat? You know, I could do another 4 years, but I wouldn't be in a position to really affect that change I would want in my area as much as I possibly could do if I came back in the future, maybe. So I said, okay, I'm going to take that step out. well, I've done such great work, and then focus on what I really enjoy and love, my passion, and that was my fashion. And Couture Paradise, that idea came around 2020 when we all had time to really assess about it.
Actually, miss COVID. I probably should say this out loud.
I'm sad about COVID, but the time to really sit and everything stop. So that thinking happened in 2020. KP, so Couture Paradise, came about in 2020, and then I just put down all the ideas, and then like everyone, you go through, should I write a business plan, should I do a presentation? I spoke to friends about it, tried to do something myself on Shopify, didn't really work. Then I paused, I said, okay, if I really want to go into this, I need to start from the beginning. So I took basically the lessons and the approach that I did when I got into politics into the fashion. So I said, let me start from the beginning, take a low seat and work my way up. So I said, what is that? What does that look like? Okay, how did I get into politics? I did a program. So I looked for a program that could help me understand just how to build this business that I envisioned. So Soho House program came along, and it meant partnered me with a Soho House mentor, and then from there he helped me through various workshops to build my idea, build what it looks like. We were using Miro, whatever people want to call it. It's like a board, and we were just plotting all the different ideas, and I'm very visual, so seeing pictures and mapping it out that way helped. So after that, I did a presentation, I pitched the idea, and then it was like the doing. But like I said, I was working in consulting. So consulting gives you like good tools, ways of planning. So I kind of put my business into like a work stream. So I said, okay, this is the like business work stream, this is the like marketing work stream, this is going to be the development work stream, and I said, okay, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is the timeline, this is how we're going to reach every milestone. So I literally did a POAP, plan on a page, the like project kind of like spill. I prepared that for my business, and then I got the resources to help me. Challenges, I lost 2 business partners. So 2 friends who I actually set up the business with back in 2020 said they couldn't come on this journey with me. I got new business partners, and then they also left this year. They left this year, but again, different priorities, and now I've taken the decision to just basically lead it by myself, with obviously support from a team who are amazing and are in Nigeria and are helping me. But what have I learned through it all? That you learn on the journey. Business is not just, okay, I reach that milestone and that's it. No, it's like every single day you've got to work at it. And just being organised, just having a plan. So 3 months plan for me. My trackers, my spreadsheets, my weekly meetings, my weekly meetings on a Friday, just little things, and then releasing control. So knowing that I don't know it all, and I have people who have great ideas, and giving them the forum to speak and say, Tele, there's this influencer, there's this designer, Tele, we should maybe do this, Tele, to gain, more customers and attract engagement. So listening to their ideas, and I'm like, go for it, go for it. So that's how I built my business, the journey, some of the challenges, losing business partners, and then having to juggle a 9 to 5. Because it is a lie, people think you can go down different routes. You can go down a VC route, so venture capitalists, you can go through angel investors, you can bootstrap, you can get grants, you can do all of that, but they're also time consuming. To go through those routes while building your business and leading a team, that is hard. So I commend everybody who's doing that. So I decided, let me use my finances, and that meant just working more of my 9 to 5. But I say it's like a time. It's a time for everything, and this is just my sacrifice right now.
Really well.
No, thank you. God,
I'm looking forward to KP. I'm going to be one of your shoppers. I've got spending problems, so you good.
We need people like you.
You're meant to be encouraging savings, It's good. So, yes, I'm obsessed with politics, so I'm ready for this. But I ran through the council route and fell twice. So you are an inspiration. How you won, you'll see. And I know it couldn't have been an easy journey. So how would you say, okay, you went through the political journey, talk us through the actual rallying bit of the campaigning, door knocking, canvassing. Talk us through that journey of the challenges to even get to the seat, and then it brings me to my next question on actual journey as a councillor. So talk us through that journey and the process, and how you found it, and how you navigated to do that.
Amazing that you've also...
Yeah, terrible.
No, but I think it gives you so much skills.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
Resilience.
A lot.
People don't know that happens behind the scenes. Part of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
So 2017, I was door knocking with our potential candidate, who was going to be in the 2018 SAP election. SAP election that we had. Yeah. So door knocking with him, and I knew obviously the elections were coming, and I knew the local elections were coming.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Do you know what, Tele? Why don't you consider putting yourself forward?" So I said, "Okay." So when you want to put yourself forward, what happens is internally in the party they, sending out an email saying local elections are coming. It's usually 1 year, 2 years. They'll send out an email saying put yourself forward. So I put myself forward, did the application. One thing that I think was really beneficial for me was I had mentors. So I knew of Sancha, who was the mayor in Barking Dagenham. Yeah. So I spoke to her before I put my application through and kind of got some tips, etc. Because she actually in the second round does interviews in other areas. So she kind of like could guide me on what people would be looking for. So I definitely say having a mentor helped. So I didn't rely on my own strength at that point in time. And you need that in politics. You need your ally, you need your network, definitely. So put my application through. The only issue was I hadn't been a member of the Labour Party for a certain period. So that was already looming in my mind, but I just said, I'm just going to close my eyes, put the application through, we'll deal with that when it happens. So got selected to come into the interview now. So once you put the application through, you go for an interview. It's like a panel, you have someone from the region, you have someone who's part of your CLP, which is your constituency Labour Party, usually the chair, and then you have someone who comes from another area who supports. So 3 people on my panel came for the interview. Interview is like, why do you want to do this? What are key policies in your area? What would you do? Why do you think your qualities, your characteristics, make you a good counsellor? And then various other questions they ask you. So I passed that around. I was like, yes, but then came the issue of she's not been a member for that long. I know. Prayed and prayed and prayed. Then the party regional had to decide whether I could go through to the next round, and they agreed for me to go to the next round. So I was very, very thankful. But I had support from my CLP, who basically advocated on my behalf. And then I came in, and it's time for now members to vote for me. So how did I rally members? I think if you're coming into politics, you definitely know you have to build the relationships. So when I joined my local party, which is Horn Church and Minister, shout out to them, CLP, I took on the role of youth officer. I was working in PR at the time, so I basically said, I can help with your leaflets. So we have no resources, especially you're not a safe seat. So I was helping with leaflets. So people started to know me in my local party. And then I said, okay, as I'm like kind of getting involved with them and I'm working a little bit more, I can actually, build these relationships so people will definitely know me when I come out as a potential candidate. So it was a selection meeting and I already had people saying, well, we're so happy you're going for it, etc. So read out my speech and then, they selected me to be their prospective candidate. I thought that was hard, but no, it is the long campaign. That's the icing on the cake. It is the long campaign, the short campaign. The long campaign that usually starts like a year before the actual election day. So the long campaign, we were going out in snow, rain. I was doing our leaflets, so it was like doing leaflets, campaign materials, the Facebook groups, every single thing. I think ours was called Harold Hill Action, like group. I was going out, and it also was being this new girl who hadn't been involved. A lot of the members were a lot older than me. The average age for councillors is usually over 50. So having a 21-year-old bright-eyed girl with no experience, real life experience, just coming in saying she wants to be a representative of over 100,000 residents in a ward, it's pretty it's a big one. And the person who was in that seat, so who I was hoping to get, the seat for in the 2018 election, had been a UKIP, he was UKIP, former UKIP, now Residents Association, and he had been in that seat for 10 years. So 2 Labour and him. So I was planning to come in and take that seat. It was like, wow, a lot of work. And I would knock on doors, and obviously some of the reaction would be positive, others would be, I'm not interested in politics, others, really, you're the candidate. You? Seriously, how old are you?
How you navigate through that as well? Because that can even be a dampener of the spirit in what you're doing.
It can, but I grew up in Essex, and you can imagine the demographics in Essex, right? So I've always kind of been the odd one out, the minority, whatever you want to call it. I've been that person, and I felt like that. So it's built this resilience in me. It's built this resilience in the sense of words don't impact me. If I've got something I'm going for, then my spirit's going to help me, and I'm going to get through it. And I just block out everything else, and I just have faith. And even if I don't win, that's what I was thinking, I've learned something, right? And it's not the end. So that's just the approach I take. So I would just kind of oh, thank you so much.
Wow.
Close the door and be like, wow, gosh, okay. But what they were saying was true. I am young, I am young, but I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to help my community. I felt called to do it, so I wanted to do it. So that everything else is just noise. So I would get that for about a year. Then you have the short campaign, which is usually about 8 weeks before the election, and that's when you really go hard. So that's targeting the Labour supporters, leafleting leafleting all of the estates at 7 a.m. before.
And how did you get into the flats?
You buzz the postman's buzzer to open the
trade.
The trade, So doing all of that while working, so I was still working 9 to 5. It was a lot, but I just had faith and hope. And then the election happened.
Well done.
And then I was elected, first black female to be elected, and the youngest at the time. So I was age 22, and it was a great journey. I learned so much about life, about politics, policies, community, mobilising. It's a great experience. It was a very beautiful time in my life.
So what would you say were your favourite parts of being a councillor? So now you're in office, what was the top 3 favourite parts that you enjoyed? And I'll go to the other parts.
Top 3, I would say, was being appointed the member for diversity and inclusion. So I did that for a year, and I drafted this report, but I got to work with so many community partners, our D&I lead in Haven Council, and it was an amazing role, and I was so happy to be appointed straight in to lead that. So it helped with a lot of the things that we changed over the 4 years. So that was probably one of my best moments. Other best moment was the casework. So every Sunday we have a counsellor surgery. So Saturday and Sundays we alternate. We'd have it in the local church, and I get to meet residents and speak about their issues, and then go away and speak to council officers and solve those issues. For example, helping people get housing. That was big one. Those are big things. And then I'd say my third was going out and being in the town hall. So having our full council meeting. And just getting up and speaking on behalf of people, and it just I love the town hall meetings, committee meetings. I was on crime and disorder committee, so I really care about policing and community safety. So speaking to our police partners, just being involved in various meetings.
Was it everything you imagined being a councillor to be?
No, it was not. You can't imagine that. You can't imagine it because we had COVID. We had Brexit.
You dealt with a lot.
So it was an interesting time where I'm looking to senior people who have been there, who've been MPs, been councillors for years and years and years, and they don't even have the answers because it's a time that no one has been through.
That's true.
So it was a unique time. It was a very unique time. So it was not what I could have expected. I just expected 4 years, do the council meetings, committee meetings, represent residents, casework, etc., campaigns that we care about. It was more than that. We had COVID and Brexit.
And what would inspire them to?
I would definitely say that get a mentor. So my mentor was Keith Darville. He was a former MP, and he was the leader of our Labour group within Havering. So he was my mentor. Before I put my application in, before I got selected, he would take me to meetings with him, with residents, so I could see how he does casework. I could see how he engaged with residents. He gave me the Constitution to read, so I understood how the council worked, basically. So I read that Constitution. I understood, like, you're supposed to stand, say, may or may, like, little things that you need to know. I would go to council meetings as well, so I would look on the council's website, and I would go to council meetings. So he would say, what are you interested in, Tele? And I would say, I'm interested in children and learning. I'm interested in, community safety. He would make me go to those meetings and just sit there. Some of them you can't go, but most of them can, and just sit and see how they work and the procedures. Not knowing I was being trained and learning so many things before I would take up the position. So I would definitely say, like, if you ever want to be somewhere, learn everything you possibly can and just keep on doing it. And by the time you get to where you want to, you've already learned, you're already ahead. So that's one thing I'd say to them: get a mentor, learn everything you can, get ready for where you want to be, and all that hard work will pay off. That's what I would advise a young person.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, gosh.
Just curious. You got
I had an honest conversation with myself recently. I thought it was another position. It was, achieving KP or, going up the corporate ladder. But I started to realise a lot of those things just weren't that important to me anymore. So I think the next 5 years is about family. And being aligned to my purpose. And that purpose can change. But I think it's always kind of it's a leader role, kind of like building others up. So I know it's always aligned to that. But I think family is now the next stage for me. Yeah.
Because you start really early. You've already hit a decade.
I'm tired.
You've done the hard work and you're inspiring generations of
I'm a bit exhausted. I think it's those experiences. Now I find I get so much peace when I go out with friends, when I'm meeting new people at church, when I'm like going on holiday with my family. We did a family trip. We've not done that.
Where did you guys go?
We went to Nigeria.
Did you?
Yeah, me, my mum was in Lagos.
Okay.
Me, my mum, my sister, and her friend.
I love that.
And it was so great just to be with family, so I feel that I'm getting more joy from those, and I don't want to say I get to this point, get to that point, and then I'm going to rest and do these things. It doesn't work like that. You need to actually actively say, I'm going to take 2 years out, 3 years out. This is my focus.
And then how do you navigate your well-being? Because people don't talk about that, your mental health and balancing. And what would you advise another person through that as well?
I've in different ways. I've done therapy. I have gone to the church. Been baptised again. Gone for the healing journey. I got baptised again. And my mum was like, "You're getting baptised again?" And I said, "Yeah, I am. Like, I'm getting baptised again. Like, I feel like I'm being called to do it." But there was a whole healing. There was classes. There was so many things that I just had not really understood about a relationship with God. So I would definitely say, if you're religious, turning to like the church and God, and just exploring that a little bit more as you enter your next chapter. Therapy is a great one, and if you can, I went through like a Christian. She was a Christian therapist, so it helped to talk about God. Oh, it was through work. So it was through work. It was through AXA, the insurer, the doctor at hand. So you can actually like request specific. You can request. So, and I was speaking to her about my faith, so it was good to have that element of it as well, and certain things that she would recommend too, like books. But I did therapy through NHS, so you can do therapy through NHS, and that helped. Just talking through various things, and I'm a very controlling person. Control.
Couldn't have told.
And learning that you can let go of control.
From your work breakdown structure system.
I'm very. So I'd say those things helped. No matter who you are, it's your mental health is important. And I think there's always a taboo about talking about mental health. I don't know why there's still a taboo. I'm very thankful for Gen Zs and Alphas because they're really bringing it to the forefront.
They're breaking that stigma.
They're breaking stigma. But I think it's the same as your physical health. We take our physical health so seriously. So also taking a break and just saying, do you know what, I want to spend that time with myself to like read more, to understand my feelings, and how do I speak about it, how do I relate to people. And you can do that, like I said, through therapy, or you can do it through religious aspects, like going to church, going through healing, or just taking a break. So now, like I said, I'm in that season where I'm enjoying myself more with friends and family to actually have a good
and obviously the partner's there too.
And my partner's
100%.
My new, we thank God.
How long? I just got to ask that. How long?
We've been together for 5 months.
maybe in next episode we real talks, dating advice. Coming pending. But thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for also being so transparent and real and sharing your journey. And I know this would inspire so many other people to believe or dream or go out there and actually make their dreams a reality.
Yeah.
And if you can leave us on your most favorite quote or something for another young person.
Yes.
Please share.
For we live by faith and not by sight.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's not really yours though.
No, it's not.
That's the Bible.
It is the Bible.
I love that.
But that is, I live by faith and I don't look at anything. I just keep on moving with that. And I think if you just, at the core of it, you feel it, just go for it. Don't worry about anything else. Just keep on, and we'll figure it out. Thank you for having me. Thank you
for tuning in to another episode of the SJW Talk Show, and I look forward to joining you guys again next month. Don't forget, first Sunday of every month at 6 p.m. Have an amazing month ahead.
This love I found is so beautiful, and every day